Yeah, so I just want to talk about what kind of cars I think are the best to get to rent out on Turo. And I'm going to be talking about getting cheap cars that you're going to buy with cash, like off of Craigslist, not real high-end ones that you're going to be financing. So that's kind of like a whole different thing. But I'm just getting cheap ones with cash, and just want to show you my first car here. This is a 2012 Prius C. It's real nice looking. I got it with a 66K on it, and I paid $7,800 for it. It wasn't like super cheap, but I think it was a pretty good deal. It only had one owner, been maintained at the dealership. And I kind of realized after I got this that what I should have done was just buy a 2008 with just under 125,000 miles, because Priuses are so reliable anyway. Paid a lot less money, and you know, I could have gotten like almost two cars for the price of this one, and basically they'd just be making me the same amount of money anyway. Another thing I don't like about this car, I wouldn't recommend, don't buy a car with light gray fabric seats if you can't get seat covers for it. I was planning on buying seat covers for this because I have a normal Prius, not this little Prius C one that I drive daily, and it came with these really nice like fake leather seat covers, which I like, so I was planning on doing that, but then they don't make seat covers for this model. So the light gray just stains really easy, so I wouldn't really recommend it. Thing is, I paid $7,800 for this, and then I kind of wanted to get like a really nice car, like a nice one that would last, but what I didn't realize was that, so right now it's 2020, and Turo's requirements of the car has to be 12 years old or newer, so you can get a 2008 or newer, under 125K, and if you buy a car that's a 2008 with 124K, get into Turo to get grandfathered in, meaning you can just keep it in the system. I heard if it gets in an accident, they can take it out. But when you have a car that's worth that little, chances are, you know, a lot of the accidents that it gets in are going to be salvaged anyway. And if you buy it cheap, like I'm going to show you how I buy these and get real good deals on them in my next video, you'll be making money if it gets salvaged anyway, because they pay you the retail price for what a dealer would sell the car on average, and you can buy them for much cheaper. So this is the second car. I just got this. I haven't even put it in the system yet. I still need to finish getting a couple parts for it and detailing it, but this is a 2008 Honda Fit. It's got 107K on it, and I bought this for $4,300. Now this car, I can pretty much make the same amount of money as that Prius. Probably charge a little bit more for the Prius, but when you're just just putting like budget cars into Turo, you can kind of just price them cheaper than anyone else, and yours will just get rented out constantly anyway. So like, and the other thing I want to add is like the type of cars you want to get something reliable. So like, you don't want to get a car where you're just going to be wasting a bunch of money on maintenance. Like, so I just searched for Hondas and Toyotas. Another good thing about them is they have they're really easy to resell. They're popular, they sell quickly. Like Priuses and Honda Fits are super popular in my area. Most Hondas and Toyotas, very popular, especially if you have one with lower miles. You can sell them really quick, and they also don't depreciate very fast. Like they keep their value really well, so even if you rack up a lot of miles on it, you're not losing a lot of money on depreciation. And for the price that I got this car for here, I pretty much know I could, like, if I wanted to flip this, I could pretty much make $1,000 on it, or almost $1,000. Like if I just sat on this car, I could sell it for about $5,300 pretty easily. Just trying to unlock the doors so I can show the rest of it. And if you buy a car for about $1,000 less than it's worth, you could rent it out for about a year. At the end of that year, sell it for pretty much the same price you paid for it. And then you could just keep doing that over and over again, never lose money on depreciation. And also this car, it'll barely need any maintenance. Like, so as you can see, it needs a little bit of work. I need to like shampoo the seats, detail it up, vacuum it. All the tires on this are almost new. I still need to inspect the brakes. And doing like brakes and stuff like that, the brakes seem like they're good. I need to like measure them and make sure they're in spec. If you can do work like that on your own, you can save money also. So like, I could easily rent this out for a year, and it probably won't really need any maintenance. So I won't lose out any money on the maintenance. It won't really need, Hondas and Toyotas don't need anything major for a long time. I was just looking at the owner's manual for my Prius, and I was looking at the maintenance schedule. The schedule only goes up to 120K, but it was really just like replace the oil, check the fluids, replace the cabin filter, replace the air filter. Really all it was. There wasn't any replacement items, like no water pump or anything like that. And Toyotas and Hondas, they really don't need anything like that replaced until like after they get over like 120K pretty much. So like if you can get cars like this for 4 to 5 grand, like pretty easily. If you stay in that 4 to 5 grand range, maybe, you know, 6K and under, get cars like that, they'll rent out a lot on Turo. And you know, like if I had gotten another Prius, I could have gotten another Prius for like 5 or 6K, and it would have made me rent it out the same just as much as that orange Prius over there, and I would have saved like 2 or 3 grand. So that actually would have been a lot smarter. So one other thing I forgot to mention, which I would recommend, is I like to get cars that have timing chains and not timing belts. The reason is because if a car has a timing belt, the timing belt needs to be replaced. That's a regular maintenance item, and getting that done is really, really expensive. It's gonna run you at least $1,200. It could even be like 2 or 3 grand on a lot of cars. Those cars, if you have a timing chain, especially Honda, I think with Hondas and Toyotas, pretty much all those small 4-cylinders have timing chains. If you're not sure if the car does, just, you know, a car you're thinking about buying, you just Google it, 2008 Honda Fit. Doesn't matter, you could search timing belt or timing chain, it'll pop right up on here in Google. The 2008 Honda Fit comes with a timing chain. Some timing chains need to maintenance, but I don't think Japanese ones usually do. Like if you have like a German car with a timing chain, sometimes those need expensive maintenance, but I think usually the Japanese ones don't. You can just Google that as well, like Honda 2008 Honda Fit timing chain service, right up here on Google. Or you can even call the dealer and ask them. That's the best way to be sure. Call the dealer up for whatever car you're looking at. If you're, you know, looking at a Toyota, call the dealer up, ask, hey, does this car have a timing chain or timing belt? Does it ever need to be serviced? Because the last thing you want to do is, you know, buy a car that has like 90K on it, and then it's supposed to get the timing belt replaced at 90K, and it ends up costing 2 grand. Or, you know, obviously if you are going to buy a car with a timing belt, either make sure that it had the timing belt recently replaced already and you have a receipt for it. You can verify that it was done, never just take the seller's word for it. Or say, you know, you buy a car with 60K on it, it doesn't need the timing belt replaced until 90K. Maybe you sell it, you know, once the car gets 75 or 80K on it. That would be fine too. It's just something to keep in mind though. Timing belts are a very expensive maintenance item, and if the timing belt breaks, you can ruin your engine like that. Some engines you won't, but most engines will get destroyed if the timing belt breaks. And check out the next video that I make. I'm going to show you how to get good deals like this Fit right here using Craigslist. I'm going to show you the method that I use to get deals like this on Craigslist. I was buying and selling cars. I've been doing that for like, I don't know, like 3 years before I started Turo. And I try to make at least $1 grand on each car. So make sure to check out that video. Thanks for watching.